of angel armies is always by my side.
Yeah, the one thing we get to yeah. If there's
Who running, almighty, who running? Ain't been the same since death died. Wanted by a landslide. Hallelujah to the flex, my. That power made a point, next slide. Yeah. Reppin' this slide. Shoes ain't Gucci, I just keep my foot on reptiles. Yeah. Coming from my neck.
What's up, Overcomers? I'm Tony, all the above. It's awesome to see you guys tonight. We're going to have some celebrating our clean time victories and all that. So, anyway, I don't have no one to do the slides. That's okay. Well, anyway, we're going to take our minds off where we're at to stay in the moment. Let's start with this meeting with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference, living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting as a hardship as a pathway to peace, taking as Jesus did this sinful world as it is, not what I will have it, trusting you make all things right if I surrender to your will. So I would be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you ever the next. Oh, I killed that. All right. So there's going to be some ground rules, be no foul language. I know we slip up a couple of times, and that means we're not going to kick you out. Just be very mindful. Number 2, if you're wanting to share when we get open up the floor for discussion, make sure it's up to 2 to 3 minutes so we can at least get everyone to share their experience, strength, and hope. And number 3, this is not a hookup spot. This is not a hookup spot. So anyway, you know what time it is. Clean time.
My name's Andy. I'm a recovering alcoholic. You good? So, we can start. Around here, we like to celebrate every month of recovery. We recover out loud because freedom from my pain and healing from my pain. Everything's been changed. And Jesus called my name. Freedom from my chains and healing from my pain. Everything's been changed because Jesus called. Yeah. Let me see. 60 days. Come on down. What about 90 days? Come on down. Great. What about 4 months? Great. 5 months. Keep working. 6 months. Come on down. We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Let's all 7 months. 8 months. Oh, yeah. 9 months. 10 months. 11 months. Does anybody have 1 whole year clean and sober? Come on down and get it, man. You got 2 of them? Okay, 2 of them. Give him a round of applause too, y'all. Hey, both of y'all, I need to know your names and how you did it, please.
I'm John Clare. I cling tightly to the faith, my faith in Christ. And it's not my will, it's His today. And I've learned this through the spiritual principles, the working steps that my God has created.
Name and how you did it, sir.
Scott Smith. One day at a time and the want for something better.
I'm so proud of y'all, man. What about 18 months? Keep working. I am too. What about 2 years? Or any multiple? You've been alive? Any multiple of years or miles in your clean time? Okay. So around here, we like to do the most important one last. I just want you to know, don't feel no shame. Don't feel embarrassed. You should feel proud of yourself and grateful that God gave you another chance to start this thing over again, man. If anybody in here would like to celebrate 24 hours clean time, man, please come up here and get your token now. Come on up. I'm so proud of you. Please keep coming back. If you haven't used or had a drug today, give yourself and your higher power a hand. Woo!
Congratulations on your clean time. I know I should be a DJ radio host. Thank you, Andy. And congratulations on the victories that we have. It's amazing what God is doing for us, what we cannot do for ourselves, right? So tonight we're going to have an awesome testimony night. You know, and it's as crazy as it may be. I was not anticipating to facilitate tonight, and so I am so blessed that this woman of God that I've enjoyed my life with and all that, and yeah. Oh, I'm not bashful. Oh no, I'm proud. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my beautiful wife, Crystal Baker.
Hi, everybody. My name is Crystal Baker, and I am grateful to be here at New Hope Church and at Overcomers. This testimony is going to be a little crazy because I'm very shaky all the time and I'm nervous. So I'm going to start out. Hi, my name is Crystal Baker. I'm 40 years of age. I was sexually assaulted as a child by my grandpa, my dad's father, until the age of 8. I had a sister that was born when I was 8. At 12 years old, my parents moved. Sorry, hang on. I gotta slow down. At 12 years old, my parents moved to Northridge, where I had been attending school my whole life so I could have a chance to meet friends. After school, At 13, my friend says my dad sexually assaults her. By 15, my mom and dad, can you lower this, Tony? Thank you, Kelly. By 15, my mom and dad divorced to addiction. I was using Vicodin, drinking daily, also started to self-harm by cutting. My mom decided to make the decision to send me to Florida with her mom. I got my GED there. I had my first son, Dustin, at the age of 19. I started college at ITT Tech. I was still using on the weekends or whenever I could. I could get my sister to watch my son. I graduated college in 2006 at 21 years old with a 3.78. I was no longer in a relationship with my son's father. In 2007, I started dating my second son's father. In 2008, I gave birth to my second son, Draven. I started a new job as a production engineer. In 2009, I gave birth to my daughter, Dakota. In 2012, I became a single mother of both Draven and Dakota and shared parenting with my son, Dustin. Soon after, I started dating a guy that was a toxic relationship, then began to use cocaine on top of Vicodin and alcohol. I quit my job as a production engineer after 3 years. On December 2017, I dropped my 2 children off, Draven and Dakota, off at their dad's, and didn't go back and began to use meth and convicted of my first felony trespass. On October 27th and 21, I was homeless and suffering from addiction, weighing only 67 pounds. I was arrested for felony arson. On July 12th of 22, after completing a cognitive behavior treatment called STAR, a counselor at Life Changing named Joe Jenkins picked me up in Franklin Furnace, Ohio, to bring me to a sober living house. I graduated from Life Changing on May 25th of 23. I was engaged on July 8th of 23. I married Tony Baker on September 23rd. My daughter Dakota was a bridesmaid, my son Dustin a groomsman, and my new stepson Noah was in my life. In 3 days, I have 2 years and 4 months of continuous sobriety. I have a sponsor and I work in AA program. I have been employed for over a year by the same employer. I live in an amazing apartment on the river with my husband and my stepson. I have a relationship with all 4 of my children. I have an amazing sister that supports me in my recovery. My mother and I also have a healthy relationship. I go to church every Sunday. I go to AA meetings and attend Overcomers. What makes you that I believe we are all brothers and sisters when worshiping the Father. I am very grateful for God and my recovery. So that was the testimony first testimony I ever have given at the faith church. I really wasn't surrendering because I didn't want to talk about. That was kind of a blanket statement of what a testimony would be in a situation where you're first starting out. And the second time, it's going to take me a little bit longer. But I've been surrendering to God every day. I'm still running on self. Which takes a lot more work. At Life Changing, I was introduced to a counselor named Joe Jenkins. And he asked me to write an autobiography of everything that has ever happened to me in my life. And upon doing so, I recognized that I don't want to regret my past. Just because that happened doesn't mean that there's a reason to regret what you've been through. It's actually a reason to stand proud that you're here, to know that you're miracle. So I'm going to go back to childhood. I'm 40 years of age and have been through things I'm not proud of, which is product of a dysfunctional family. I can remember being around 3 or 4 years of age at my mama's house where I was babysat while my parents went to work. When I feel negative feelings such as brain, I was in the living room sitting next to my big cousin Jason. Jason lived at my mama and papa's house. My uncle Eddie was in prison. And his mom lost custody of him. And his brother Eddie when they were in their toddler years. As I sat next to Jason on the couch watching television, my mama got up and went to the kitchen whatever she was cooking, and our papa sat down in his chair, looked at me, picked up the television remote and turned it on. He looked over at Jason with aggravation. I then stood closer to my cousin because I was mad. Jason just smiled and tried to hold my hand up already, had his belt undone, plunged out of his loop in his pants, and drew back across the bottom of his chin and across his rear leg. Jason kind of leaned forward to protect me. I couldn't move. Jason just sat there, still smiling. I could feel his body began to fall. My papa headed to the kitchen where Mama was. Jason said to me, "Go on, Crystal." I go outside on the porch. I said, "I'm not allowed." So he got up and came with me. My dad and my mom both took me minutes after that, picking me up. Jason came with us, but not Eddie. He was on the porch when me and Jason went out there. I was just so afraid, not only for me, but for my cousin. I didn't understand what or why this was. I just knew it was wrong. That old man was being so mean and violent, and I started to tell my dad and my mom, but Jason said, "No, Crystal, it's okay. He wasn't hurt." I learned early that worry was hurt, causing hurt. Jason spent a lot of time with my mom and dad and me. He was like a brother. I just remember being so happy all the time because he stuck up for himself. I remember my mama trying to keep him away, distracting him with eating something from the store, or anything to keep his acknowledgement of grandchildren, even being there. I was so afraid that all I could do was go back to being a child. What I relate to with the Wizard of Oz in the hallway was so scary. That's how I learned to hold my emotion because if I smiled inside that he Papa would be there to beat me. When before I and Jason went outside on the porch, I heard him laugh about what he had done. Laying his head in my mama's chest, I believe then I became angry for Jason at their 4 years of age. Again, within the same period, in the same way me and Jason were watching TV, he came in, picked up Jason, throwing him over and over. Grandma sitting in her chair, rocking here, but not being anything. I tried to pull him back from kicking. He finally stopped and started to play with holding my hands, like dancing. Only I drew back running to Jason. But then Papa began to call him Sissy because little Chris was hugging him. So Jason got up and went up. Well, I tried until Papa went up there after him, saying, "I pay the bills, boy. You ain't in the bedroom. I pay for it." My dad pulled up. Jason jumped in the van, Dad, and then there was a long wait. A lot of it, what I was told, is called classic conditioning. So basically, if you are sick, it teaches you as a child how to act or not act, knowing that you would be next as you got older. Um, Jason Jason is still currently at my where part of the reason I surrendered to get him. My grandma and grandpa had 8 children. All of them are in prison on second. When I don't know how to read this. My mom and dad would drop me off at my grandma and grandpa's house every morning going to work. I think it was when my cousin was there. When they currently ended up in juvenile prison themselves, I would be so things get worse for me as young as I can remember, probably about 5 years old. During those early hours, one morning, my dad carries me in and lays me on the couch. Where, as I lay there, my mama gave to me. It was like a long gown, pair of shorts, and pants. I remember this terror like my eyes closed while this big man telling me began to get up. My papa began to lay over top of me when he says some inappropriate things to me. And I'm going to go ahead and read it. Papa began to lay over top of me when he says, pull your panties and leave your teeth. I started to lay still. As he said, let me help you pull them down and to molest. I remember being smothered by him and over top of me. Just have done. Um, I remember feeling gross. I remember wanting to just either stop breathing or breathe, but such a young age at 4 or 5 years old, I just wanted to die. I wanted to be dead at the age of 5. I remember not wanting to take a bath no more, my hair, or even change my clothes because I thought that he would be there to sexually abuse me anytime I became sick. My mom took me to the doctors, but they said that there was nothing wrong, infection. When I went in, I didn't want me, I would get sick. I ran fevers. She would take me to the doctors over and over again. I had this hope that someone would save me, and like I was living so far from me. I'm not sure or why I was even alive, but I would come home and just not eat at all or drink so that I might be able to go back to the doctors. My teeth began to decay because of low nutrition when I was taking the feeling of the pain that actually brought back some type of sign of life. My mom said, "Was so loud she was angry." Kept happening, they over again. Finally, I wrote in a diary that I was being touched by my past. On a Saturday, I wrote that down, and by Sunday, coming home afternoon, that old diary was sitting on the coffee table where my dad, filled with crying in his eyes, head held down, and my mom on the couch holding her head crying. I felt wrong, trouble breathing, so ran to my room. By Monday, on the way over to Mama and Papa's with Dad in that book, I was so jumping out of my own skin, fearing I was going to get beaten with that. They meaning my mom and dad. When I get to my mama's, go in where the dining room is. He is watching me. Mama's in her chair, me in her chair, my parents standing over me, questioning me if he did it my way when my papa was attacking Jason. I felt the same way when he was attacking Jason, how I did, and he wasn't even moving from his chair. He was just staring at me from the room while they were. Finally, they after questioning me, they go to work. They left me. Um, I couldn't get a break. Didn't know what to do. I attended church regularly. I prayed. Um, but I was left again. Because I felt I would hurt my grandmother by making her. I thought it was a dream. Then I went to school. I made a decision that made things much worse. I lied. I took that moment as a child for being molested, and of course that began to develop. I was so afraid all the time when even at school with other kids, I would try or play down. I felt worth of developing relationships. That was my next negative experience was every time after that, the age of 6 till 13, when my mom apple broke so I could stay at my mama's so I didn't have to go home with them. I was so confused. If they wasn't going to leave what I had to say, then I wasn't going to leave. I would go and hide around the time they would be pulling up, whether I just didn't stuff or I wouldn't simply and tell my parents to go on with them. I even remember eating dinner a lot together because I wouldn't get in the vehicle. So I brought a lot of other problems, so many insecurity of the reason I was behaving the way I was. The age of 12 to 13, I remember that negative feeling once after drinking a nice beer, followed by all threes on July while my mom was working and my dad was partying. I was given a glass of beer from him. It was July. I wanted to try it, and the pill from my aunt. I then headache started to become angry because I wanted more. That was the addiction. That first glass. Um, sometime I have to start believing this stuff myself. I didn't want. I people would ask me things about my family. I would tell them my grandma and grandpa had been married. It's a perfect life. I lived a lie because no one wanted to believe me, and I didn't want to tell the truth. I didn't want it to be true. The first time and the last time I visited my grandma was not Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving before that. I kind of seen a idol in her, like she was very nervous. Crusades is that she denied everything that was ever said to her, and I don't blame her for any. The true resentment I had to work on was me being resentful. truth is that a lot of kids and a lot of people, I'm still breathing, I'm here, and I had to let those things go. I battled with things like I miss my grandma all the time. Grandma's house. But really, what am I? And that's when I start facing God. And um, I struggled coming up here a lot, like, and I'm still struggling. I don't, I didn't know what to say when I was asked to give my money. I didn't know what inappropriate or appropriate situation. But I can tell you that everything is different. I'm not in that anymore. I'm finished.
You know, we have to expose the disease into the light before we expose it, right? So, I'm so proud of my wife. She, had the courage to come up here and tell her story, not just her story, but God's story. And, you know, you guys have a similar story like Crystal's, that classic conditioning growing up before the drugs and alcohol came into the picture. It goes way back, the trauma. And no one, and now trauma, 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 same thing. Okay, get out of here. Yeah. Let me go. And trauma is a real touchy subject in the room. No one doesn't want to talk about it. So, what kind of experience, faith, and hope do you guys have? What kind of trauma that you were a child before the drugs and alcohol came in your life, and the floor is now open.
Hey, y'all. My name's Andy. I'm a recovering alcoholic addict. Miss Crystal. I went through a lot of physical abuse when I was a kid, just getting beat all the time. You would even breathe like so. Um, I don't want to even try to compare that to what you went through though. But I do want to tell you like the past year that I've got to know you and Tony. I've noticed just growing, healing so much. I've watched God and what God does for take effect on your life, and I think a lot of people have to do. Every time I come in contact with you, you seem kind of like closed off. You know what I mean? And now, like you before, and now like, I understand why. But I just want to know how proud I am of you for what you do up here and stand in front of people, and the level of courage that it takes for a woman to sit up and talk about so deep, um, traumatic, and bother you so much. And I really think that you like and God is showing all. And I think that you saying what you said tonight is most certainly going to help somebody else at their story, somebody else here. This is how what we have by giving it away. If you sitting up there, I know that I just know I feel it that somebody heard that and they was like, and if she can heal, be okay after every her, I can't. You know what I'm saying? And that's how this works. I'm just really proud of you, and I have a lot of respect. I already did for doing that.
Thank you, Andy. Anyone else?
When I was a kid, I was beat Shut up.
Easy windmill.
Crystal. I'm Delora, and I'm a recovering alcoholic. You know, when we met, man, what I've seen you go through is such a love you so much. Just want you know how much I love you, and I'm proud of you. Thank you for being my friend and my sober support and my spiritual guider.
My thought is that you are able to recover all those memories, and as traumatic as they are, that's the beautiful thing because that's how you are able to get past or work on getting past that stuff. For me, I look back on my past blurry. So the fact that you have that ability, it's the first time I've ever been here. What you just said moved me. I want to tell you thank you.
I'll get you next after Keaton.
Sounds strange to hear, but because we've only maybe exchanged 10 words, but I want you in your and I just want to thank you for the strength that you've shown to these people. Have yourself what you know is right.
Was it you?
Alcoholic addict. Man, that took a lot of courage. I admire that. I've never experienced no abuse like that, and she carried the day she died. And drug no people, he's a broken child. It's like a chain reaction. That stuff overflowed into my life, and so I like
I'm Rick. Wow, that was one wonderful lead right there. Like kind of like Rob was saying, my mom did the same thing, and it taught me such an inspiration. I was crying, and I couldn't hold it in. I was trying to, but it's a wonderful lead.
Thank you, Ricky. Anyone else? I'll get to you.
Sharing your lead, and I'll share too. When I grew up, my mom and dad became Christian Amway. My mom was pregnant, older sister and older brother. I don't know what they experienced because my parents became, or my mom, my television experience at Amway. I did have like college parties and smoked weed and things like that. I did that was memory of my parents. But so I grew up going to church, and I went to my parents in Christian school, and because my mom wanted Jesus because she thought Jesus was the answer, but she had a different concept of Jesus. Anyways, so I was going to Dayton Christian, and they were talking about good touches and bad. To me, God. At the same time, my brother started touching me, thinking like sex. I was really confused. It wasn't. I'm grateful that I did have some. Went on multiple times. I remember my little sister's 4 years younger. I was in 6th grade. I didn't, but would watch the door while me and my brother were in the bed together. And then I remember us being missionaries once in like, anyways. So, um, I've had different periods of sobriety, but I've been clean for a week tomorrow. I've been on harder drugs before, and I had a long period of like I was on heroin when I was in 2004. So that's a long time ago. Really experienced God bringing me out of that. But then I got really zealous for the church for 8 years. There's just there's a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing, and I let them participate. But God is so loving. He waited until it got a really dark this past weekend just to drink myself to death. I have 4 kids, and he showed up. He actually threw my mother-in-law. She sent me this text that the old page in a song that was about Jesus, and I wept, and I just said, "I'm God, and I don't care about all the people that give God a bad rap. Okay, God, and thank you so much for opening up, and we all can open up. We can all open up because God is good. We don't."
For sure. Wow. Who else wants to open up? Because we're here to recover out loud. Because, like, we're live on Facebook. That was awesome. When we can open up, we have to be honest with ourselves or who we truly are, what's within.
Sam, appreciate you doing that lead because me coming in AA and celebrate recovery, I see a lot of people that are just natural born presenters and take that stage and big bubbly personalities. But if you go up there and it's not the thing that you're comfortable with doing, but you still push yourself through it, that's like the example of like getting comfortable being uncomfortable. And you really showed your strength to challenge yourself to go up there and push through and do something that maybe you didn't want to do, but you knew you felt would be good for you. That's just up as well. Just aspects of my life of things I'm nervous about doing, getting out of living, getting out, moving, moving on my own. That shows me, I got to keep on pushing. Maybe just stick with the things that I'm comfortable. It's easy to me. Just keep fighting a good fight, put one in front of the other, and not putting nothing in me. So I appreciate the share, demonstrating your strength in front of us today.
Thank you, Sam. Anyone else? All right, Jennifer.
I'm an addict named Jen. I realized for myself that trauma is really hard, and it's the hardest the first time. Um, the strongest thing you can do is what you just did an amazing job at it. What I realized in my own process is you so long me weighted down to keep me in control. And that was the thing I would always lean on when I try to change my life. Yeah, but this happened. I need to be better to me. And then what I've seen you do, and what some of us can start to do in recovery, is flip it and share it to give life. Like, talk about it now without behind it. It still hurts. It's a little better the more we talk about it in the right settings and help people. But to be able to turn it around and say, now I'm out because of the other side, like, that's an amazing thing to experience with God working in us and healing us, to be able to sit here with people that love you and people that don't know you. That's the strongest I've ever seen anyone. And I just want to thank you for doing that. And I'm
Thank you, Jen. Anyone else? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sam, you got anything?
I was there when you gave your testimony at Mosaic, and I could see it in you, like there was more there, but I get it. Like it's hard to talk about that stuff. My favorite kind of testimonies or leads are the ones that are solution based, because we can get real tied up in that, what it was like. Because for a lot of us, there's more of that, like we've spent years there. The favorite part about your testimony tonight was so solution based. It was like this happened, and this is what I learned, my counselor, and this is what I'm doing now, and you even had like a title for it. It was just it was so helpful. But where I related to was like my sexual trauma happened by a man that didn't even owe me anything. It was just like my drug dealing boyfriend. It wasn't my it wasn't my great father. It wasn't somebody that like I relied on to like love me and protect me. And Jen was saying about like the process. I've been sober for 3.5 years, and I thought that I've been in a process until you got up there tonight and you said what you said, and I'm back in my seat, like I've not even began. Um, if you have that level of like your blood family, I've not even to process what I've been through and to have forgiveness. I'm really proud of you for going out there and saying what you did. And I've done my testimony a handful of times, and I've realized it's really surface level stuff because I've not been in that process. And I too have seen you grow, and I just love it. It's like a light bulb kind of on, like watching you open up. And I remember meeting you in Overcomers over there, and you were just like you were for you, like and like, and then I started seeing you like open up and like blooming, and it was a beautiful thing. And I'm so proud of you, Tony. You guys are like on fire so much, and I've known me for years, and watching you guys like come together is beautiful. But I'm so proud of you. It really helped me a lot tonight. It made me like realize where I've not even started, where I thought I've had healing, but I haven't even started to try to heal. Because to be honest with you, I want to hold on to that anger because I feel like it protects me. Like if I hold on to that anger, I have like this shield over me where nobody else is going to hurt me like that. But really inside, somebody told me that I'm drinking the poison expecting to die, and I absolutely am. I absolutely am, because I'm holding on to all that pain and all that bitterness. But you think 1 second he's sitting there thinking anything about it? Nope, nope, sure isn't. He's about to get sent to prison, and I was talking to my sponsor about going to his sentencing hearing so I could pretend like that was justice for me. I'm so sick, like I'm so sick. And then just watching you, you really helped me tonight, and I appreciate you and love you for that.
Thank you, Sam. Hey, Chris, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I just got to tell one more thing. Look, what you did tonight, Crystal, and the lives that you touched, the enemy's going to be all over you. He's going to be trying to attack you to make sure you stay straight up.
Indubitably. I'm Tim, an alcoholic addict. I just want to say thank you to the people that opened up tonight. That took a lot of courage. I myself, from 6 to 14, I went through a lot of beatings. I witnessed my mom at 6 years old getting the crap beat out of her. She went through a lot of mental and physical abuse. And I myself did at the age of 18. I had to be strong at my mom's funeral. Being my mom got to get them. But by me going through the stuff that I went through, me towards any kind of abuse towards women, both physical and mental. God bless you, ladies, for opening up. Love you guys.
I love you too. Thank you for sharing. All right. So, knowing that we got minutes left this week, and I have to do after hours. So, what where are you? Let's just circle up and what's cool. Circle up. Oh, we're going to go all the way around. Oh,
And also, could you guys help me congratulate Miss Destiny on 6 months sober? She was a little late to the clean time.
all right. Tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up. Oh. It's amazing what God is doing in our lives tonight. Struggle is real. Don't be afraid to reach out if you're struggling with your. It's very important to stay connected. Because if we're not connected, we'll neglect ourselves in a way to where we probably won't be able to come back. Our heads. Ones are so out there still suffering. It starts with our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom, thy will be done. This is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. It's not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thy is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Keep coming back. So it works if you work. Sucks if you don't. So if you guys all want to do some sober karaoke, come see me down at the cafe. And we got some Wheels on Wheels down there as well. Thank you, guys.